moving forward.
Tonight, approved. Brandywine School District approves the first tax hike in 8 years, averting major cuts. What it means for taxpayers, we break it down. Plus, residents were evacuated from their homes today after a sinkhole opened in the street. And still need a place to take your Valentine? Find out which Delaware restaurant was the only one to make the top 100 romantic restaurants in America. Those stories and much more straight ahead tonight on DETV News. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Making headlines today, Brandywine School District voters went to the polls Tuesday, deciding to approve their first school tax hike in 8 years. Due to the pandemic, recovery efforts have impacted the budget of the last few years, so the approved referendum has allowed the district to avoid significant cuts that could have removed several jobs district-wide.
So the last time we asked our taxpayers to raise revenues for the school district was 2016. We promised at that time that we would stretch that referendum for 3 years, 4 if we could. Well, it's been 8 years. We believe we did an excellent job being fiscal stewards of the taxpayers' money. Certainly with 2020, we had COVID relief funds coming in. They are expiring at the end of August, and we are in deficit spending. So the time has come, and we need to go back out to the taxpayers.
The referendum will raise over $15.6 million in local revenue to support ongoing district operations, although this means the average homeowner will have a $181.75 increase in taxes for fiscal year 2025 and a $145.40 increase per year in fiscal year 2026 and beyond.
This referendum in Brandywine is for operational expenses only. We are not seeking a capital referendum. We do not have major renovation projects or new buildings to build at this time. So we are simply seeking operational funds to continue the day-to-day operations that we are running in the Brandywine School District, as well as the programs that we have. We support athletics and extracurricular activities and clubs. Our visual and performing arts is alive and well. And so besides the employee costs of the folks that we have working with us in Brandywine, we need the day-to-day operations to continue as well.
With 9,256 total votes, 7,059 voting in favor of the referendum, that's 76.3% of the vote. There were still 2,197 votes against the referendum. Now, while Brandywine's operational referendum passed with flying colors, critics have pointed to the district's struggles in English language arts and mathematics, both well below 50% according to the Delaware report card. Red Clay School District will vote for their referendum on February 28th, and Colonial will follow suit on the 29th of February. Appoquinimink will hold a second chance referendum. That will be in April. I had the opportunity to sit down with school officials from Brandywine, Red Clay, and Colonial school districts recently. You can check out that full interview special on DETV's website or any of our social media channels. And in other news, residents were evacuated from their homes and a U.S. Postal Service truck got stuck in a road in Wilmington on Wednesday after a sinkhole opened on the street. The city's Public Works Department is now dealing with that sinkhole in the 800 block of West 9th Street. City officials say a water main break led to the sinkhole, which snagged the rear axle of a U.S. Postal Service vehicle. The postal employee was not hurt, however. 10 homes on the block have been evacuated as a precaution. The Wilmington Fire Department also responded as the scene was secured. 9th Street between Adams and Monroe Streets will remain closed. And a little further south, Dover police are investigating a home invasion shooting that injured a 31-year-old man early Wednesday. 3 masked men reportedly entered a home on Old Forge Drive, shooting the victim before fleeing. No other injuries were reported. Police say the three men entered the residence armed with firearms by kicking the back of the door in, and once inside, shot the victim in his upper body. The victim was sent to Bay Health for treatment. Anyone with information should contact Dover Police at the number seen there on your screen, or you can call Delaware Crime Stoppers. You may remain anonymous, and there is a cash reward for possible information leading to an arrest. And Dover police are also investigating a robbery at the Verizon store on Route 13. Investigators say two men came into the store wearing dark clothes and masks Monday shortly after 6:30 p.m. and demanded an employee surrender some store property. One of the suspects was armed with pepper spray and a taser. The suspects reportedly ran off with stolen merchandise after the employee complied with their demands. They are still being sought. Police have not released any other suspect information at this time. Anyone with information on this robbery is asked to contact Dover Police or, again, Delaware Crime Stoppers. And a man who died Sunday after veering into the C&D Canal near Delaware City has now been identified by police. State police have identified 60-year-old Brian Baynard of Elkton, Maryland, after his car veered off the road into the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal. The man's car was found completely submerged in the C&D Canal near Delaware City on Sunday night. Divers were able to pull Baynard out of the car and onto the shore, where he was pronounced dead on the scene. Police are still investigating the cause of this crash. Moving to other news now, high school athletes may soon be allowed to secure a payday for their recognition. The Delaware Interscholastic Athletic Association is considering allowing students to enter into NIL deals encompassing activities such as autographs, appearances, and brand promotions. This is a practice that's already prevalent at the college level. Short for name, image, and likeness, and NIL refers to the way college athletes can receive compensation. The DIAA director wants Delaware to align with surrounding states like New Jersey and Pennsylvania, where NIL opportunities are already permitted. Currently, Delaware state regulations prevent amateur athletes from accepting professional deals. This initiative follows the efforts of State Senator Nicole Poore, who convened a task force last September to explore significant changes within the DIAA. There is opposition, of course, on social media, as you can imagine, expressing concerns about the impact on academic focus and the creation of a show-off culture. The DIAA is set to discuss name, image, and likeness deals in their upcoming meeting on February 22nd. That's next week, with any changes requiring approval from the DIAA board, the Delaware Department of Education, and a public hearing. To health news now, cardiologists with BB Healthcare are the first providers here in Delaware to offer a new cardiovascular implant to patients suffering from AFib. The healthcare provider is now utilizing the Watchman FLX Pro implant, which actually looks to help decrease stroke risks in patients by using the latest technology to decrease clot formation and inflammation. The Watchman FLX Pro implant is the latest version in a series of implants which BB first began back in 2018. And DelDOT is getting ready to hear public feedback on a proposed intersection improvement project in Sussex County. They're looking to make improvements along Kings Highway from Route 1 to Freeman Highway in Lewis. DelDOT says the concept was first brought to the public 2 years ago, but continued growth in Sussex County is making for an increase in traffic volume, adding that the open house will provide some updates and give residents a better sense of what path forward is. Officials with DelDOT say while the construction on the project is still several years away, the public workshop is set for Tuesday, February 20th at Cape Henlopen High School. It's going to be from 4 to 7 p.m. And speaking of transportation, car insurance rates are skyrocketing across the country, with our area seeing a massive increase of 154%. That's according to an annual report from Bankrate. People in the Philadelphia metro area are spending more than 5% of their income on car insurance, and experts say we might not see a rate decrease until next year. According to Bankrate's annual car insurance report, in Philadelphia and here in Wilmington, the average insurance premiums cost more than $4,700. That's nearly double the national average. Experts say your credit score is just one of the several factors. Car thefts and carjackings are also partly to blame for the rising costs in our area, as well as inflation increasing the cost of vehicle parts and labor, forcing companies to put the cost, you guessed it, back on the consumer. Experts suggest possibly removing coverages that you maybe don't need, like towing or lockout services, rental reimbursement, or even gap coverage. You can check with your credit card and cell phone companies, as they offer some of these benefits, possibly at a cheaper rate. And if you're a parent of a student with a 3.0 GPA or higher, it can save you hundreds of dollars on your insurance policy. To read the full report, you can go to bankrate.com. And in culinary ode to romance, Open Table, the renowned online restaurant reservation and review service, unveiled its prestigious Top 100 Romantic Restaurants in America list. And Delaware's selection has some real meat to it. It's the 1776 Steakhouse in Rehoboth Beach. 1776 clinched a coveted spot on Open Table's list. Open Table unveiled its exclusive selection after analyzing a staggering 12 million diner reviews and key metrics. This year's compilation showcases dining destinations from 34 states plus Washington, D.C., each offering unforgettable ambiance for romantic rendezvous. Owned by Tom Holmes since 2007, 1776 has charmed patrons for over 2 decades. So, if you're looking for a place to take someone special, we definitely recommend 1776. And of course, a big congratulations to the staff. That's a big honor. And on this Valentine's Day, Flowers by Yuki has turned up the romance meter, delivering a staggering 1,700 roses just today. And gentlemen, well, true to tradition, we are the last-minute Cupids making that final dash for love. But fear not, Flowers by Yuki is here to save the day.
Hi, my name is Holly. Work here at Flowers by Yuki. I'm the manager for her. It's Valentine's Day today, if you gentlemen haven't realized it yet. But we sold a lot of beautiful flowers, roses, tulips, about 1,700 roses we have done. So it's been a very busy day. It's busy for the day, but Mother's Day is busy. Christmas is busy too because it's the entire month. So it all comes together and we get it all done. I have a great crew here. Women are prepared and order early. Men just seems to come in last minute, like with these gentlemen here. But we love them all. We love everybody.
So whether you're a seasoned pro or a last-minute romantic, Flowers by Yuki always makes Valentine's Day memorable. Love is certainly in the air today here in Wilmington. And before we sign off tonight, I wanted to share an uplifting story that has personally touched my heart this week. A former colleague of mine, 33-year-old Alan Vickers, has faced kidney failure since March of 2021, continuing dialysis for 4 hours of treatment, 3 days a week, while awaiting a transplant. We actually worked together at our first TV station down in Salisbury, Maryland. Another former colleague of ours, Cody Leibowitz, stepped up as a donor after discovering that he was a match in late 2022. The two have remained friends even years after their time together down in Salisbury, bonding over their love for the 76ers. Despite living in different states, Cody's surgery was in Sacramento yesterday, and Alan's was in Philadelphia earlier today. Alan plans to honor their friendship by cherishing his new kidney and embracing life's opportunities, documented in his podcast called Vital Connections. And we have no doubt that the new kidney will help Alan to cheer on the 76ers for many years to come. Well, I can't think of a more perfect way to end tonight's broadcast. We thank you for joining us this evening. We'll see you again right back here next week. Take care.